While the city's and maybe even the state's dirtiest zip code got attention from the debate stage earlier this month, at a time when clean air and clean water are being talked about more and more, for some in our area, they're sick of talk and want action. 7 Action News reporter Matthew Smith found out about a guy who's trying to do something a little different.
The move that we're talking about here wouldn't stop or cut pollution. That's likely not going to happen overnight, but it would give people an early warning sign. And for folks who live in 48217, the most polluted zip code in all of Michigan, well, when you see what their playground off in the distance, what it looks like, that means something to them.
Late at night, I was running down the street. We were trying to get all of our neighbors up, and we putting them in cars and not knowing really what's going on.
Pastor DeBurley Porter remembers the odors that came from Marathon back in February. It led to a testy moment at City Council.
Detroit should be notified as soon as something happens.
Marathon says it was only odors, but for those who've lived here for decades, the fear, the concerns, it's nothing new. From downtown, Pete Welch can see the industrial complex from his job at Slalom. It led him to a project tracking data about air quality, but quickly he learned he couldn't always find it.
They'd be offline for days at a time, where you would have no data coming from the EPA.
Leading him to create this.
This just takes the most about 15 seconds for this to pop. Right there. You see that the upper left there jump?
He's showing me a prototype of an air quality testing kit. Built for less than $200, it can send early warnings to locals when air quality changes.
I'm very concerned. I really don't even want to be in the area.
The device wouldn't stop the pollution of 48217, but Welch believes if he teamed up with the right people, it could lead to real data on what the most polluted zip code is doing to its neighbors. For years, they've fought to create change.
We refuse to give up. But can you imagine if you got to live in it, wake up in it, go to sleep in it every day, and that can really be devastating.
What Welch is truly hoping to do is not only give that early warning indication to people who live in this area, but also to team up with hospitals that are starting to look at environmental factors when it comes to how people turn out. We're talking about asthma clusters, cancer clusters, people who are getting sick at a higher rate in some areas. Could this all play a role? Could pollution be a part of that? That's what his data would drive down and find. And in some ways, that might speed up the help of the people in 48217. We're in Detroit. Matthew Smith, 7 Action News.